Welcome back to X4, and today it's time to get some early profit. This episode is going to be mainly about earning that early profit and a tutorial on how doing so. So first of all, I'm going to undock from this. We're in Pontifex's claim in a Paranid equipment dock. I'm not going to worry too much other than going this way, and we're going to head onto the highway. Alright, so there's the highway. I'll boost over there. Ish. We can use travel mode, but it's too close to actually worry about that, and we don't worry about the shields. Doesn't matter which direction we actually choose here, by the way, entirely arbitrary, because this highway is on a ring system. And it's the same highway we were used to from the starting sector's here, jump across into second contact, and this highway is a ring. So if we just head onto here, boost, while I'm talking, we can travel a little bit. So we're now traveling anti-clockwise through Pius's Mists, and Napoli, this is Fortune is above us. There is a linking network through here, through Bacchal Sun where you start. Over here on the right hand side, it goes to more systems here and then down this way. But if you get onto second contact, this will form a complete ring that you can fill in later. And the side benefit is, as you go traveling around this ring, what you want to do is keep an eye on your mission offers tab, because it gets you going past lots of stations, and there are often pretty nice missions to pick up, and you can do it passively while, or well, not passively, but you can do it while we're actually passing. In particular, one of the good mission types to look for at the start of the game is something called, it's usually a leak of some kind, so i.e. air's leaking out or data's leaking out, something along those lines. Basically a repair mission. And you're looking for an easy category on the right hand side, and it'll say something along the lines of, we need to repair something. I'll show you once I actually find it, or at least find one of them. Typically, they're 130 to 140,000 credits for just going up to a station and right-clicking in your spacesuit. So, given that a ship can be bought for about 200 grand, probably about 300 once you start fitting it, it's very, very worthwhile to do one or two of those missions. And we may well find other things while we're at it, so why not? Alright, now I'm going to travel on this ring now, and I'm not going to show you all of it, of course, because, that's just a little bit boring. And we're going to wait until we actually get to a mission, and we'll resume from there. And I have one of those missions now. They're a bit of a skinflint. They only offered me 110,000. It is a bit random, so it just depends on which system you're in and where you're going and stuff like that. 110 grand is pretty good. It doesn't require me to shoot anything, hopefully. And here is the station we've been asked to go to. So over here, it also lets you explore, because I don't know what station's over there. I think it did say, let's have a look. Mission offers, mission manager, current missions. We can actually see, but I think we're close enough anyway now to see it. Let's just miss the asteroids. Yes, so it is, it's the agricultural trader. Okay, so let's slow down. And here we are. We just have to approach that area that's highlighted, and we should get an exact location. Sometimes it changes a little bit, depending where we are, but here should be fine. And let's just backspace. While we're here, we'll want to be in scan mode, and you'll see there is already a sort of secret kind of indicator, so sparking area. And I'm just going to approach that with the ship just to see if there's anything there before we actually fix the station. So let me just get a little bit closer. And are you going to give me anything, maybe? Let's have a look. We can hear it, so let's get close.
One moment, please.
Okay. Sounds like we do have something.
That should do it. I had to disable my voice filter. I was beginning to think my messages were being intercepted by those split fellows. I'm a little disappointed that it was this easy. I don't suppose they sent you, did they? Oh, that would be quite devious.
This is the most talkative boron in the universe. I will warn you now. He or she just keeps talking. So, who are they?
What should I call them? I suppose captors is quite apt. Employers? They let me work on my own projects some days, you see.
Do you need help? I'm going to regret this. Do you need help?
Ah, yes. You see, I'm in a spot of bother. I'm in the middle of some important scientific research, which I'm unable to pursue personally from my current location. I'm looking for an assistant to aid me.
Oh dear. What do you need?
I'll send the task to your ship computer. This is rather exciting.
Okay, so he's basically saying we need to dock at a certain station, pick up an interface unit, fly to a scientific area, and achieve your life's work, or his life's work, or her life's work. I'm not sure. In any case, we're going to accept it because it is a voiced mission.
I have managed to place the device on a nearby docking area.
And it's this station that we need to dock with. However, we need to repair this thing for this other mission first of all. So let's just slow down to a halt. Press enter. And we can ignore the talkative boron for now. Get up. And we can get out the station, get out of the ship using the transporter room at the back. Use a spacesuit. And let's just drop down. Same controls as using your ship, and tab is probably the easiest thing to use to control things, to control your sort of forward momentum. It's boost just like your ship. And backspace will stop you if in case you need to, or in case you go out to ram into things. Shift 2 again, push into a scan mode, just like it does on the ship. So that is one option. However, in this case, we should just be able to stop ourselves. Yeah, we've scanned that particular module. And if we right-click while holding down left-click, we've repaired the station, and we've picked up 117,000 credits. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So we just need to get back to our ship and get in. That's straightforward. Just click on your ship. Use the usual Shift D, or you can right-click, I think, on request docking permission. But in this case, we're just going to go back here. We don't have to worry about docking like on a station. We just have to fly into this bay and we should be fine. So let's pass it and then just slow down with backspace and tab forwards. Straightforward. Easy. Easy 110,000 credits. Get back in. And now I guess we're going to go have to pick up this interface unit. So let's slide sideways. And we're going to need to request docking permission from this station. So we can click it. Shift D. And it's going to basically tell us to land over there. And we're close enough. Yep, we just have to fly to that. And because I've got the docking computer, I can just fly forwards. And I don't have to worry too much about it. There we go, auto land. And we're down. Now, for this interface unit, you're going to have to get up and walk. It's not actually in your ship. You can't just pick it up automatically like in X3, but you can actually go and get it. Yeah, let's just go down here. Just remember not to hold down shift to try to run. Remember, we've set ourselves to run automatically, and there is a moving walkway you can use to get pretty quickly around the station. And the interface unit is just a small little computer that is just by the side of a ramp usually, or something along those kind of lines. So we'll get to the end of the walkway, turn left. You can always teleport back to your ship, by the way. Shift D does do that, so you don't have to worry about having to walk back to your ship. There it is. So, interface unit, let's grab you. Oh, and he's going to talk again.
I see you have found the device. This will allow me to monitor your activity and perform experiments remotely. Please keep it safe. Oh my, it seems your pulse is elevated. You must be very excited to take part in this expedition. I'm glad. So, shall we begin? I will attempt to direct you in the best way possible. Please be patient with me.
Yes, please be patient with him. He needs a lot of patience, let me put it that way.
I don't expect you've spoken with too many boron before. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is E02, and it is a pleasure. I do wish it were in person, but my current situation is quite precarious. You must be quite curious on what a lonely old boron is trying to achieve. There are still so many mysteries and unanswered questions. Are spaceflies sentient? Where are the lost boron systems? Is faster than light telepathy possible? It is our task to push the physics of this universe to the breaking point and see if it answers any of those questions. My current employers only seem happy when my research results in novel weapon modifications. Very curious people, those Split. I do hope they move me to a new tank soon. My tentacles grow weak.
See what I mean? Okay, so we're going to need to go over to this area that he's saying is an area of important scientific research.
How my homeworld is faring. It has been such a long time since we have had news of it.
And he will just keep talking. So I'm going to head over there. We'll skip forwards until we're in the area. So we're close to the mission area, and he's going to ask you to scan for an anomaly. Now to do that, go into Shift 3 and hold down R and let go. And you'll see these purple circles sort of reflecting. They don't show up on the map, so you have to see them visually. But that's what one of the uses for your long-range scan mode. Now, an anomaly is essentially a place where it's like a jump gate, essentially, but it goes to potentially a random location. I've had a bug with this particular mission before in my test save, whereby it's gone to the wrong area. Now, it's entirely possible there were two anomalies close together and I went through the wrong one, but the mission doesn't continue. So if you do that and the mission isn't working, or doesn't say any, he doesn't start talking again incessantly, then you know you're in the wrong place. So first of all, we're close to this thing, so he's asking us to lay down a nav beacon. We're going to do that just in case we need to get back, in case this does bug out. So to do that, press enter, go across to deploy civilian, and drop a nav beacon. I've kept all of mine. I suppose you could have sold them at the start of the game for some credits, as like I said, but in our case, we're going to need at least one for this mission, so do buy one if you don't have one already. And that nav beacon you can see flashing now, it's sort of reflecting off the internal inside of my cockpit, and we can get back here just by clicking on it. Yep, we can set guidance to that. Well, it's a bit close to my ship, so there we go. So yeah, you could always start guidance to object. Alright, so now we're going to fly through, and this is where you may have a bit of a problem, in that you can't fly directly into it like you could normally, because it usually pushes you away. So let's get close, and you'll see we're starting to slow down. But if you tab to boost, you'll get through. Boost.
Entering system. Grand exchange.
This is the right area, I think.
Can you hear me? It took a moment to realign the frequency. It is just as I thought. You have made it through the anomaly and emerged in a distant region. Your location is actually of great interest to me. Over the years, I have managed to pull sensor logs from passing ships to help further my work. I highlighted this as a prime location for my research, should I ever get the chance. While the previous anomaly is interesting, my findings point to something else here, which I expect will lead to a groundbreaking discovery. Allow me to guide you to a particular area.
By all means. He's going to do that anyway. So we're going to turn around and he's going to tell us to go over here. Now this is one of those systems I mentioned about exploring through. If I just go to the map and zoom out, you'll see we're next to Black Hole Sun. So there is a system that says Profit in the name right here, Grand Exchange here. There's another couple of sectors in Grand Exchange, and then it links down into Nobulus's fortune. So it is a good place to go anyway, but we've been brought here by an anomaly. And this is where the mission will take us. Now, we can't proceed with the entire mission this episode. We're going to just start it up to a certain point, and it will tell you to do a certain something. We'll get to that just in a second.
You will need to make the most of this location. Space here is wounded, with a scar in its fabric which seems to have healed multiple times. There is no record of any abnormal activity at these sites. To everyone else, this is simply an empty area of space. In my search for signals from long-lost boron, I have detected multiple scars in space which continue to spew a multitude of particles and radiation. In a bustling sector such as this, it would only be seen as background noise. However, some of the noise seems to have artificial form. We are going to tear this scar wide open and peer inside.
Yeah, that always works out well.
The universe is a fickle thing. One miscalculation and we may well destroy the whole system. Mistakes make this all the more exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
Allow me to reimburse you for your help so far. I do hope the Split don't mind me using their credit account to help fund our venture.
So he's given us 25 grand. We repaired a station with one right click for 110. Trawling across half the universe, 25 grand. Anyway, it is a main mission.
For us to better understand its nature and how best to provoke the anomaly. I suggest you also deploy a resource probe so that we can see how the anomaly has affected the local environment. You should be able to acquire these deployable items from stations which offer upgrades. I know of such
So this is why you get given those items to start with. You need to deploy a satellite and also a resource probe. So let's deploy a satellite, deploy civilians, and it deploys civilian even, and then satellite.
Must be precise.
Okay, and the tutorial is already sort of popped up on the screen.
Receiving a much clearer signal from the tear. Almost immediately, I can see that there are far more gravimetric shears here compared to any other anomaly ever documented. That indicates mass. But of what? This shows some similarities with a jump gate event horizon.
Hidden jump
There's
gate?
something else. Could it be a temporal distortion? Perhaps dimensional? Very interesting. Would you please deploy a resource probe in this specified area? I'm curious of this environment.
Okay, so he's going to tell us to go over here and just deploy a resource probe. You can technically drop the resource probe on top of the satellite and it will count. So that is an option that you have, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to head over here and there we go. Let's just slow down. Anywhere near here should be fine. But I'll just drop it on top of this position. There we go. And here will do. Again, press enter. Go across to deploy civilian and down to resource probe and press enter.
You will now be able to see the yields of the resources in the area, should you wish to extract them. As for our research, it seems that nearby objects are covered in exotic particles, possibly spewed from the anomaly. I hate to be a bother, but I have an idea on how to proceed.
So there are the resource amounts for this particular mineral field.
Be flown to a very precise location near the anomaly. If we fit the ship with the right equipment, we may be able to open the tear wider and have a better idea of what is on the other side.
Okay,
We'll likely end up in the ship's destruction, so I will help cover the expenses of acquiring a new ship for the task.
yeah, so it's basically saying you're going to destroy the ship by doing this. You're going to need to buy 3 antimatter cells, and it's going to tell you where you can buy them, etc. But we're going to need a new ship for it. I don't want to destroy this one. It's a starting ship. It's sort of nostalgic. In any case, it's going to want us to go to that exact location. I think I'm not going to worry about it for now. We're now going to jump across to something else, but that's the start of the mission. So if you're following along, feel free to carry on by yourself, and I'll carry on maybe in the next episode. However, for now, we're going to go and work out some profit, I think. Now, speaking of profit, in my game, down here, still in the same system, Grand Exchange 1, there's this station on the very, very edge, right next to the jump gate that heads to Neopolis's fortune. Neopolios? Oh, God, that's hard to pronounce. Anyway, right next to that gate, there is a station, and between the two is a data vault. So we're going to go and head over to the data vault. Let me just engage my... Oops, have I got flight assist disabled? I do. We'll drift off course if we have that. That's control space. Lets you turn around while you're traveling in one direction, and you don't really turn your ship. Your ship doesn't follow you. So it's like a very feature in a very, very old game that I really liked called iWar, or Independence War, and there was Independence War 2. You could turn your ship sideways, side slip past someone, and shoot them on the way through. Not sure if games like Free Space had it as well, but certainly have it in here. So let's slow down. We're 5 kilometers away, so let's just travel in and boost. Now, data vaults look quite small when you actually get to them, but they're going to be right here. You can't select them directly, I don't think. You can't travel to them as such, not automatically anyway, but we get close. And let's get just on the other side of it. That'll be more beneficial. You'll be able to see what we're all about once we get onto this side. So here we are at a data vault. I'm going to slow down and we're going to approach it. I think probably we want to be on the other side anyway, but let's just stop here. You're not going to want to get in closer for a reason you're about to see. There we are. We're stopped. And we're going to get up and let's talk about how we deal with data vaults. So we can head out in our spacesuit again, I'm afraid. Use the spacesuit. And let's get out of our ship. And we're going to boost over to the vault. Now the vault can't be destroyed. You're not really going to want to destroy it. You can't really interact with it in any way when you first get to one. You're going to need to go into your spacesuit and you're going to need to repair it in order for you to basically unlock what it holds. Now, typically you're going to look for these open doors, at least on this model of Data Vault. I don't know if there's any other models just yet, but on this one, we're going to look for these doors. Now, around this kind of area, Oh, we can also hear a secret. We're going to come back to that soon. Around this area, you're going to find red lights on little panels. Pressure leak detected, it'll say on the panel usually, or something along those kind of lines. There's one on the top, and you're going to need to go and repair them. That will open some of these other doors. You can then carry on around the station, around the data vault, and continue to repair it until the final door opens and you will have something there. You know, something useful, hopefully. So let's just do the first one, and I'll show you how the doors open, and then you'll be able to see for yourself. I'll skip forwards until we get to the final door, of course, because no point watching me fly around in these horrible spacesuit thrusters, which I'm going to upgrade soon. Backspace. Pressure leak detected. I know it's upside down, but you get the idea. And we've repaired it. So, over here on this side, we can then thrust over here. And if we turn around, there's another one. And the solar panels started rotating. Really sort of awesome activation sort of thing. They didn't really need to do that, you know, but as players we're rewarded when we have this awesome activation. So I'm going to carry on going around, and we'll get to the point where we open the final door. Okay, we're here on the other side of the central stalk, and these doors have now opened as well. And you'll now see this door is opened, and we got two things in here, or we should probably have two things. Yep, there is something to pick up, and there is something to scan. Now, you can, well, you'd think you go back to your ship and then collect that, because if you're in your ship and you press O, you normally drag in boxes that are nearby. It's a good tip if you destroy anything. However, in this case, no. We're just going to go and fly over this thing, and we're going to pick it up. So let's just fly in and boost forwards. And pick this up. We'll get some cargo. There we go. So you'll see what we've got down here. We'll have a look at that in our inventory soon. And we got 200 grand. So our new balance is 676. But we're also going to want to scan this. So just like your ship, your spacesuit has a scanner. Shift 2. And we can fly forwards. Until we get the audio log. Well, or a mission of some kind. In our case, it's just a data stream. Fair enough.
You have made quite the discovery. I am always in the search of knowledge. I have added a secondary task to your mission interface.
Okay, so unlock data vault, 1 of 28. So I assume this one might actually be in a fixed location if there's 28 of them, unless they're all completely random, but you know, who knows? Hopefully it's not. And this one is now unlocked. So, yeah, I've got that on mine, and hopefully you will be able to follow on yours as well. So, just a brief reminder, it's down here, and there's lots of rocks, near the Tel microchip factory, which is near the jump gate in Grand Exchange. And it's right in the middle of this field. This is what your long-range scanner is for, finding these kind of things. And of course, there is an upgrade to that software as well. Where's my ship? My ship's around here somewhere. There it is. I need to go and head back in, and then we'll head over to go and spend some of this money. We're going to get some passive profit started, I think. And to do that, we're going to head back over to Argon Prime to the wharf, because we're going to be buying a medium ship. Remember, the shipyard is where you buy large and extra large ships. The wharf is the small ones. Now, while we're traveling to the wharf, I want to cover one other thing that's important on the map that I haven't really shown so far, but it's important if you want to start trading. Now, I'm not going to start trading, I'm going to start mining today, or at least having a ship mine for me. However, if you wanted to start trading, it's a very good start as well. To do that, what you're going to want to do on the map is go over here to the filters, and let me just remove that for a second. Go over here to the filters. Let me just get this highway first before we solve that problem. Let's just do this. Slow down. Whoops. Close enough. And there we go. Okay, so go into the map, go to the filters, and enable this first filter. I've got it turned off at the moment. You may have it on by default. I've turned it off. Turn it back on again and close. If we zoom out, you'll start seeing these overlays, these sort of tooltips. They show you the buy and sell price for various things. You can then drill down even further. So if I want to look at energy cells only, I can click on energy cells, and let's close the object list so it's a little bit cleaner. I don't like the way these are superimposed over our map, by the way. I'd sort of prefer them in panels, but I get why it's there. It's just a little bit busy when you actually do this, so I turn it off when I'm actually traveling. So here you can see wares are bought in these places for 21 credits. We've got energy cells. Now, if we cross the path of something like a... are we close enough yet? We're getting close to Argon Prime, not going to be too far away. If we cross a system that has energy cells to sell, we'll be able to see the price here. And then, of course, you'll start linking up trade routes. You'll be able to find where to buy them just by clicking on the locations or hovering over the locations. You'll see which stations it is. And then sell locations, obviously, for energy cells. So if we find something where they're sold for, I don't know, 12 credits and we can sell them at 21, if we can carry thousands of them at once, then that's pretty good. And I need to make sure I get off this highway. And let's disable travel mode. And there is our station we need to dock at, so I'll see you on the dock. And we're down. Now, you don't necessarily need to dock to do this, but it's just more relaxing for me if I do. You can just right-click on the station and buy ships. We're going to buy some ships here. We're going to buy 2 to start off with. I may buy a second pair, depending on how these first 2 perform. I've got a good feeling about how they will, but that's fine. I did it in test save, so yeah, spoilers. So over here we buy ships. We can choose the medium category at the top. Then we can choose what we want. I'm going to go for the Drill Vanguard. There's a couple of different miners. The Sunder Vanguard and the Drill Vanguard. This is how the Drill one looks. Sort of like, well, again, with the whole wings thing, but sort of cross pattern at the back. And the Sunder Vanguard is more utilitarian. It's more like a, well, a tube. Yeah. So they're both fine. We're going to use them as miners, so I'm not going to worry too much about what's fitted to them. But you can't just buy them like this. The chassis is only 136,000. However, it says currently edited ship is missing mandatory upgrades. Okay, so we want to make sure at least we go to the minimum preset. You have to go there to be able to buy it. And you'll see here are the default categories for everything. Now, there are different loadouts. For example, low preset. Don't use these, at least not for miners, because it starts adding lots of software you don't need, like police scanners on a miner, and it's going to cost more than you want to pay. So go to minimum, then go across the software, and then you can add the same kind of things. Now, if I want to fly this in future, I want the docking computer, so I'm going to add it for my own purposes. Even though it may never use it, at least I have it there. I'm also going to get targeting computer extension and trading computer extension, just again in case, because they're quite cheap, and in case I want them in future. You could add the long-range scanner software, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to just leave it as is. And then we can pretty much actually add that to our shopping list by pressing this button or pressing 4. And then again, down here at the bottom right, we can press 4 or click on the button. I'm just going to press 4. And then if we go press M for our map, we've got a property own tab. And down here, you can see that one's under construction. It's not instant as in previous games. In previous games, there were either stock or there was no stock. And you, for example, in X3, that is, I'm talking about previous games. I know Rebirth is a bit of an offshoot, so I'm going to refer to the previous game as X3, even though it technically wasn't. So, yeah, it's not there or not. It gets constructed for you. So let's skip forward until it's finished construction. And here we are. It's finished. So it's now available. So I'm just going to click on it, right-click, go to information, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to rename it to MNR for miner, _1_ ore, because I'm going to set it to mine ore. And that just means I can see it in the list and you see exactly what it's actually going to be doing. Crew skill is set to 2 out of 5. However, if we go over here to behavior, you can select formation and all kinds of other things. We'll get into that later in the game. However, the most important part for your miners is this, default behavior. Click on set default behavior, change that to auto mine, and there is auto trade mine you, so you can set up that for traders. Auto mine here. Then it's going to say, what do you want to mine? Click on add wares, click on ore, and click on confirm. That is already going to take off. If we have a look on the property owned, in fact, we can right click on it and look at external view, take the map off, and this is flying by itself now. I'm not controlling this, it's our AI. So AI, please don't kill ourselves on the ship like in previous, on the station like in previous games, or rocks or things. Hopefully not rocks, because it is a miner. In any case, we can now go back to our ship. Or in fact, I'll just get up. The other thing I wanted to show you while we're on the station, and that one's taking off to head who knows where, is that if you find abandoned ships, you're going to need a way to claim them. And the best way to do that, or the only way I know to do that, is to find some crew. Here's a likely person. Come back.
Hello.
There you go. So we can hire this person. And it's going to say which ship do you want me to go on. So right click your ship you want to assign. Yes, we'll select that one. And it's going to say over here what role do you want him as. Choose Marines. Marines can capture ships, and then press hire.
You won't regret hiring me.
Maybe not. And it's going to, well, it's auto saving in my case. Not sure whether it will in yours, but that Marine is now going to head over to your ship, get on board, and disappear into the infinite cargo space that we seem to have in this ship. And I say that because our ship happens to be 150 meters cubed, and it's the size of a small van. And basically, the engine is most of the back part of the ship, and the middle EDC opens up so you can get back in. I don't know where we're storing cargo. And the station is just as interruptive as in previous games. Sorry about that, but yes, on he gets. A little bit slow, but it's fine. And poof, he's gone into your hold. Who knows where? He's just got a bunk back there somewhere. Of course, this ship can only hold 2 people, so if you've got a passenger mission and it wants 2 people, bear in mind you're down one space now because you've got a Marine on board, just in case you want to find ships. I'm not necessarily going to find any this episode, but we've got that. So the other option we've got 398,000 credits. I think what I'm going to do in my case is upgrade and get. Can we have a look at? Well, first of all, I think I'm going to take the engine upgrade. Gets us to be a bit faster, and we'll just add that. Press 4 twice, and it'll upgrade our current ship. And I think maybe I'll get the long range scanner upgrade. It's 65,000, but we will have the ability to see things further away by doing it. That'll get us to find more things like data vaults. So I've been much happier by upgrading that. However, before that, I'm also going to buy a second ship. We're going to do a second ship with a different ore, and we'll see how well it actually does. Or a different wear, if you like. So buy ships, same thing again. I'm going to buy another Drill Vanguard, because it seems quite nice looking. Minimum preset, over to software. We'll buy the docking computer, we'll buy the trading command. Don't think it's going to need target computer extension explicitly, but I'll get it anyway. It's 275,000. Fine, we can add that to our shopping list. And press 4 again. And that's going to start basically building. And that should be on our map screen. One other thing on the map screen, by the way, go to player information. And I'm not sure if I did this last episode, because I've been using a few different saves while I've been doing various things. So I'm just going to change my name there. The logo can change, so I'm going to change that to this. And then the ship skin you can change as well. It's quite subtle, hard to see, but now it's sort of a dark blue colour, red, green, and sort of a gold colour. I'm going to leave mine on the default, but choose whatever you want in your particular case. Our inventory, what we picked up in that particular mission, not the mission, the data vault, we've got these goods. So we've got advanced targeting modules, 4 of, so value of potentially 40 grand. Digital seminar piloting, that's for training pilots essentially. I don't think we're going to use that yet. A remote detonator. Interface units for the mission that we picked up, the main mission I think it is. NVIDIA Moxide I already have, and the hydrogen catalyst I picked up. So we got some money from that. But I'm not going to worry about that too much just for now. So we're down to 99,000 credits. And of course, I can actually upgrade our ship to have a long-range scanner. So I'm going to do that. 65,000. That will make us poor, but it's worthwhile having, I think. And yeah, we're going to apply to our current ship. And then we're going to set up that other ship, the Drill Vanguard. We're going to just rename that. So I'm going to set it to... information, Drill Vanguard, M&R for miner, number 2, and this one, let's try silicon. If you can't find any silicon, fair enough. You can go and find it without those resource probes, of course, and see what the yields are in various fields, but I'm just going to see how this goes and see what amount of money it brings in for us. So behavior, change that to auto mine, go into add wares, choose silicon, in my case. You can have multiple wares, I think, as well. Yeah, we could have multiple wares if we wanted to. But for now, I'm just going to leave them dedicated to one particular thing so I can see how well they do and confirm. And that one's going to take off as well. Now, what's going to happen is AutoMine really does mean that. They're going to head out, and if we just zoom out a little bit, we may have already got one. Yeah, there's our first one. It's gone over to this ore field, and it's going to go and collect ore, go and sell it for you, and then occasionally you'll get some credits. Now, in testing, it sort of returned credits about twice every half hour or thereabouts, or 4 times an hour. And each time it was around, for me, in this one system in Argon Prime, it was around about 22,000 per time. So we get about 88 grand an hour extra from each ship. So 166 grand an hour for 2 ships, assuming that silicon is the same. I've not tested silicon yet. That was just for ore. So passive income, very easy to start up once you've done a couple of missions, and it should pay for itself pretty soon. Now, I'm not going to cheese it by doing too many of them. I may do a couple more, just so I can try those other 2 wares mainly, and we'll go from there. The other thing that I noticed on buying ships is that the Drill Vanguard, if we have a look, it has solid storage, whereas the Sunder Vanguard has liquid storage. Now, I'm not sure in that may restrict, I guess, what they can actually pick up. Haven't actually really tested the Sunder Vanguard at all. I'm just using the Drill Vanguard, and that certainly works with ore, so I don't need to question that too much. And we should be fine for there. So we should get a couple more. I'm going to go and fly around, and then I'll show you what happens when some of that passive income comes in. So you may have just seen that pop up. It may have just missed it, but it's we just got paid. Let's have a look on our map for a second. And over here, I'm actually just on the way to a mission. Let me just slow down. Let me just stop that, because it's not the mission that's important here. It's the actual passive income. On the map, yeah, let's stop entirely. There we go. Go across to your player information. And on the left-hand side, you're going to want to look at, where is it, logbook? Yeah, logbook. And in general, you'll see here there are gaining credits. So we've got a miner, silicon miner, sold 61,000 credits worth of silicon to the silicon refinery in Argon Prime. So that looks like a much more profitable version than the ore. The ore is down here. This ore miner sold 440 ore to an ore refinery for 24 grand. So what you may want to do is switch them over to silicon. It depends just how the price fluctuates. So I may well leave them alone and watch her a few times and see how well that goes. In any case, we're back up to 152,000, which is pretty good, given we haven't actually done anything. I've just been on the highway. I picked up another mission just to go and, what was the mission again? Mission manager. Yeah, we just need to scan a station, so I just need to go and point at the station, which is presumably over here somewhere, and get more stuff. However, I will leave you there for this episode. It's just over half an hour. I don't want to go on too much each episode, so you can follow along and keep everything going. So this episode, we've got a data vault unlocked, and you know how to do those now. We've got some passive income with a couple of miners. Next episode, we might add a couple of traders to that as well, and we'll see how far they go. And of course, we've unlocked the main mission, and we'll see how well that does too. Yeah, I think it's pretty good for this episode. You've probably got some nice profit going. So hopefully your empire is expanding as well as mine is, and we'll see you next episode for some more X4. If you like the episode, feel free to give it a thumbs up below. Subscribe if you want to see more, or click the bell if you want to see more notifications in YouTube. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter at GreyDusty. You'll get notifications that way, or you can ask me questions either way. And we'll follow up with that next episode. So as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more X4.